Information sometimes, which is coming from everybody. It's, no one has a monopoly on it, or just power.
You're saying nobody
it's just
has
power.
A monopoly on it. Come on, that's some moral relativism right there.
I said nobody has a monopoly.
You said nobody has a monopoly on it, but that's like saying nobody has a monopoly on being a billionaire. He's got that monopoly up here. I mean, he's got more money than us, a lot more money than us. So,
I don't get the.
You don't get it?
I don't know what point you're making. The right thinks that the left is in a very different place with free speech than they have been before, and they're not wrong. They're not wrong. This is arrogant. You don't punish somebody.
It's honestly wild how the woke left acts like the presidency is their birthright. Their obsession with Trump is getting out of control. It's exhausting, and honestly, it's starting to wear everyone down. But now, even Bill Maher has hit his breaking point. Maher went off on MSNBC's Joe Scarborough, calling him out publicly for making absolutely ridiculous claims. And trust me, you won't believe some of the stuff Scarborough said. It's that outrageous. We're breaking down the entire meltdown, piece by piece, so don't go anywhere.
Member Commission, the California Coastal Commission. He launches his rockets from Vandenberg Space Force Base. We used to call it Air Force Base, but I guess now we're into Space Force time. He wanted the proposal to expand the number of launches. Okay, again, one of the most impressive companies, an American company. He wants a little more, give it to him. No. The commission, some bureaucrat, said nope, and this is the reason why. Commissioner Carol Hart saying, we're dealing with a company, the head of which has aggressively injected himself into the presidential race and made it clear what his point of view is. Yes, because he lives in America, and he can
even get me started on the hypocrisy here. Elon Musk is pushing boundaries, electric cars, space travel, you name it. And instead of celebrating that, the left is treating him like a villain just because of his political views. It's crazy. The guy isn't working for one party. He's working for everyone. Now the FAA is suddenly throwing red tape at his rocket launches? Come on, it's obvious what's going on. His biggest crime is that he supported Trump. That's it. Even Bill Maher is calling out this nonsense. He sees right through it. And let's be real, Musk used to be a loyal Democrat. But the party changed. It stopped being about science and innovation and started pushing censorship and cancel culture. Musk doesn't play that game. And now they're punishing him for thinking differently.
They have been before, and they're not wrong. They're not wrong. This is arrogant. You don't punish somebody. It would be like if we stopped Henry Ford from making the cars because we didn't like what
but can you take one anecdotal example? One idiot, right? Truly an idiot to stop.
This is not an idiot. This is someone with power.
An idiot with power is not unusual.
Okay, but that's right. No, but having power.
If you don't want disagreement, they want total control. That's why Elon Musk is public enemy number one right now. He's not your average billionaire. He bought Twitter and messed up the left's control over the conversation. The same people who used to shout about free speech are now the ones silencing others. It's honestly backwards. Even Bill Maher, who's been a longtime liberal, is calling it out. That says a lot. And Joe Scarborough? He rambles like he's making a point, but half the time it sounds like word soup. It's classic confused people. Avoid real debate and pretend you're the smartest one in the room.
From everybody. It's, no one has a monopoly on it. Or just power.
You're saying nobody
it's just
has
power.
A monopoly on it. Come on. That's some moral relativism right there.
I said nobody has a monopoly.
You said nobody has a monopoly on it, but that's like saying nobody has a monopoly on being a billionaire. He's got that monopoly up here. I mean, he's got more money than us, a lot more money than us. So,
I don't get the.
You don't get it?
I don't know what point you're making.
Scarborough claimed the right wing controls all misinformation, then pointed to Mark Cuban as proof? Come on, just like Bill Maher. I have no clue what his argument even was. Let's be real, misinformation isn't just one-sided. No party or network is totally innocent. Acting like your side is always right? That's classic hypocrisy. And Scarborough is a pro at it. MSNBC pushed the Hunter Biden laptop story as Russian disinfo loudly, and when it turned out to be real, they quietly backed off. But by then, the spin had already done its job.
But I have to say that it's disingenuous to claim that the biases that are exhibited on Fox News are any different from the biases exhibited on MSNBC. It's difficult to suggest that these corporations operate as anything other than mouthpieces for their affiliate owners in BlackRock and Vanguard. And unless we start to embrace, and also, mate, like just spiritually, if I may use that word in your great country, we have to take responsibility for our own.
It's obvious now Elon Musk and Donald Trump have become the targets of a media campaign aimed at destroying their reputations and influence. Every move they make is twisted. Like the time Musk was accused of a Nazi salute for a simple hand gesture, or how the media constantly compares Trump to Hitler. These are calculated attacks, not just random outrage. The media isn't just reporting, they're spinning narratives to turn the public against them. When facts don't fit their narrative, they shift the story to keep control. Just look at how MSNBC's Chris Hayes brushed off evidence of schools secretly helping kids transition genders, calling it a right-wing conspiracy. This isn't journalism. It's manipulation.
There is a message of what I would call like common sense, patriotic pluralism.
Yeah.
That is a majority message, which is like, if some father and mother have healthcare for their kid lined up who's trans, just stay the fuck out of their business.
Let them make that decision. That's their decision to make. And you don't have to make that for your family. I'm not going to tell you what to do with your family.
But the argument is whether the child should make the decision.
But the child is never making the decision. The parents are always making the decision. Parents consent to medical care.
Well, here in California, you're allowed to hide it from the parents if the kid is.
Yes.
Thank you, one person who knows that.
Really supposed to believe MSNBC is neutral after all this? Joe Scarborough and his team act like they're the ultimate truth tellers, ignoring real facts and gaslighting anyone who disagrees. This isn't just bias, it's a complete rewrite of reality. If the truth doesn't fit their narrative, they just call it false, and if you challenge them, you're labeled a conspiracy theorist. People are waking up and calling them out. MSNBC's excuse is always, look, we have conservatives on. But that's just a trick. The real issue is whether they're reporting facts or pushing their own agenda. And when a conservative guest dares to challenge them, MSNBC completely flips out. Watch this.
What would be good at MSNBC is if you actually did think about both sides and weighed the arguments and made constructive arguments against that side while respecting them. You don't do that. It's propaganda all the time.
What you just said, what you just said just described my show. So I had a Trump lawyer on this week. I've had Steve Bannon on my show. I've had Trump White House officials.
I watch MSNBC.
Right, so you describing a goal that I'm achieving, I take that.
Check out that viral clip of Andrew Sullivan ripping into MSNBC's host. He didn't hold back, calling them out for spreading propaganda instead of real journalism. You could see the panic in the host's eyes as they tried to shut him down. MSNBC doesn't want real discussion. They just want guests who play along with their narrative. Anyone who challenges that gets silenced or pushed out. It's all about protecting their own narrative, not fostering honest debates. People are starting to see through the act. They're tired of the rehearsed outrage and manipulation. If MSNBC ever wants respect again, they need to stop pretending to be the ultimate truth source and admit their biases. Until then, no one's buying it.
To sit within the castle of MSNBC throwing rocks at Fox News is ludicrous.
My friend,
Make MSNBC better. Make MSNBC great again.
My friend, I would. The moment
fight them on a territory you can win on, Joe.
Be real. MSNBC's track record with misinformation isn't fooling anyone anymore. If they want to earn back trust, they need to fully acknowledge the propaganda they've pushed. But just admitting it isn't enough. To rebuild credibility, they need to stop spinning stories to fit their narrative and actually offer real journalism, giving both sides a fair shot. Real journalism means holding all leaders accountable, not just Republicans. They can't be defenders of democracy only when it's convenient for their agenda. If MSNBC truly believes in democracy, they need to hold both sides to the same standards. Otherwise, they're just another biased network. People are seeing through the hypocrisy. America deserves better journalism. What do you think? Has MSNBC lost your trust for good?